Khamzat is very good at wrestling. He's very good on the ground. He's very good at pressure. The longevity of the fight, it hasn't been his best approach. So you see with Usman, you see with Gilbert, tough test.
I think I would give it maybe 4 rounds, 3 to 4 rounds. I think Chimaev just overwhelms him too much, I think.
He does every fight the almost same things, and he's not going to change anything.
Khamzat Chimaev's looming showdown with Dricus du Plessis has experts raising red flags for the South African champ, and it's getting violent. Meanwhile, Luke Rockhold weighed in on Khamzat Chimaev's skill set, acknowledging his dominance in wrestling, grappling, and relentless forward pressure. However, Rockhold questioned Chimaev's ability to maintain that intensity throughout a drawn-out fight, pointing to past performances against Kamaru Usman and Gilbert Burns, where Khamzat's pace and control appeared to dip as the rounds wore on.
We'll see how it plays out. And I think Khamzat is very good at wrestling. He's very good on the ground. He's very good at pressure. The longevity of the fight, it hasn't been his best approach. So you see with Usman, you see with Gilbert, tough test. I've put a lot of rounds in with DDP, and he don't go away.
Additionally, Rockhold called it a tough test for both men, but highlighted just how durable Dricus du Plessis truly is. Having shared plenty of rounds with the reigning champ, Rockhold emphasized that DDP doesn't fade. He keeps pressing forward. Unless Khamzat can impose himself early, he warned, the fight could get increasingly difficult for Chimaev as time goes on.
So unless he gets to him early, it's gonna be tough late. I think that's the way the DDP goes, you know. He manages to get through, weathers the storms, and he keeps going. That's what champions do, and that's why DDP's on top.
In addition, Arman Sarukian claimed that Islam Makhachev sticks to the same approach in every fight and isn't going to switch things up for Dricus du Plessis.
He does every fight the almost same things, and he's not going to change anything.
Well, Dricus said, you know, he even challenges, what did he say, $10,000 or I think it was 10. For every time, I don't know if it was 100 or 10, for every time Khamzat's able to take Dricus down.
Furthermore, Sarukian said taking DDP down won't be a problem, but holding him there could be. Arman added that if Dricus plans to offer Khamzat $10,000 for every takedown, he better be ready to hand over his entire fight purse to him too, because DDP won't have anything left if he follows through on that plan.
DDP thinks that Khamzat not gonna take him down.
He said he'll give him, I saw on Twitter, on X, that Dricus said he'll give him $10,000 for every time he's able to take him down.
Yeah, but just take him down. It's not difficult, but hold him is more difficult. So, but if he's really thinks like he's gonna pay his 10,000, he's not gonna make money from that fight. He's gotta give all his money to Khamzat.
Meanwhile, Tito Ortiz believes fans are about to witness just how vicious Khamzat Chimaev truly is. He praised Chimaev as an absolute monster and warned that while Dricus du Plessis may be the current champion, he's in for a rude awakening.
People are gonna see how vicious Chimaev truly is. I respect the guy. He's a monster. Du Plessis, the champ, I think he's in him for a rude awakening because he's going to realize that his wrestling is not as good as Chimaev's truly is. And it was heartbreaking for me in that middleweight division because when Bo Nichols got picked apart his last fight, I was like, man, why didn't you wrestle? You're one of the best guys in the world in wrestling. Use your wrestling. And that's what all the Russians do. They use their wrestling to set up punches. They use their punches to set up the wrestling, and then they take people down and they choke them because they're really good at it.
Moreover, Ortiz pointed to the clear gap in their wrestling levels and predicted that, within 3 to 4 rounds, Chimaev would overwhelm DDP and break him down.
I think Chimaev, I think I would give it maybe 4 rounds, 3 to 4 rounds. I think Chimaev just overwhelms him too much. I think that's my opinion. Once again, I watch him. I watch Chimaev. I just see how tough he is, and you know I know he had training camp actually at Jackson clothing company or Jackson in
California.
California, correct? And was it
Bear and Rampage is also there.
Yep. And so I know he's doing really well. I talked to Rampage. Rampage goes, no, he's the real deal, Tito. I go, I see him. I watch his fights and how vicious. I mean, he can shoot a double leg from half the cage and still take a guy down. He's just very vicious.
Building on that, Khamzat Chimaev is promising dominance heading into the fight, putting everything into his training and pushing himself to the limit with his sparring partners. He's leaving no room for doubt, sharpening every aspect of his game to make a statement when the cage door closes.
Rafael, it's gonna be a bad morning for you today.
Why?
Gonna smash your face.
Well, you're gonna see what's happening today. Today, smash.
What are you taking? Juice? Secret juice?
Praising Chimaev's control, takedowns, and submission game, the Weasel described him as an absolute nightmare in the first and second rounds, making this matchup a true test for du Plessis. The Weasel pointed out that Islam Makhachev would be the third high-level wrestler Dricus du Plessis faces, but emphasized that Khamzat Chimaev presents a completely different challenge. He noted that DDP has never been in the cage with someone who fights like Khamzat.
From solid takedown defense and get-ups to taking himself to the ground, Dricus du Plessis' takedown defense is all over the place, and it's going to need to be on point when he fights Khamzat Chimaev, by far the best wrestler he's ever faced. In fact, Dricus actually doesn't fight a lot of wrestlers. He's a champion with 2 title defenses, but he's only gone up against 2 wrestlers in his entire career. Those are Derek Brunson, who honestly is the only true wrestler he's fought. The other is Robert Whittaker. In this high-stakes fight, going from fighting Brunson and Whittaker, the guy who Khamzat absolutely smashed in the first round, to fighting Khamzat Chimaev himself is going to be a very different level for Dricus. He's never fought someone who shoots takedowns and grapples the way Khamzat does. Not even close. Khamzat is a chain wrestler with supreme top control and excellent submissions.
Furthermore, Lucas Tracy labeled this matchup as one of the best of the year, praising Dricus du Plessis for his all-action style and unmatched ability to impose his will inside the cage. Tracy pointed out that DDP consistently drags his opponents into wars, no matter who's standing across from him. While fighters like Sean Strickland and Israel Adesanya have occasionally been part of slower tactical affairs, DDP has a way of pulling them into chaos and forcing a fight.
One of the most entertaining styles in the sport, imposes his will like no other. You know, like Dricus du Plessis goes to war with Adesanya, a war with Sean Strickland, both times, and it's like those are 2 fighters, Strickland and Adesanya, that have potential to go out there and have a lackluster, boring fight sometimes. Dricus du Plessis doesn't allow for it, because Dricus du Plessis is the X factor in those fights, making it entertaining. And also, he beefs with everybody. Dricus du Plessis against Sean Strickland, beef. Against Adesanya, beef. Against even frickin' Darren Till, this guy was beefing with Till. Till was like, dude, I don't want to trash talk at the press conference.
In addition, Tracy highlighted that Dricus du Plessis makes for a particularly compelling matchup with Khamzat Chimaev, not just for the fight itself, but for the personal heat behind it. He referenced the moment DDP mocked Khamzat's facial expressions. Tracy pointed out that Dricus du Plessis has been relentless with his trash talk, constantly stirring the pot and finding himself in heated exchanges with almost every opponent.
Dricus du Plessis was talking shit, and it was hilarious. And against Khamzat Chimaev, it's beef. I saw this photo of Dricus du Plessis making a stupid facial expression, saying that he's trying to look like Khamzat Chimaev, and he's like mimicking Khamzat's lip or whatever. Dricus is just on fucking demon time with his trash talk. He beefs with every opponent. I can't think of a single Dricus du Plessis fight that's not going to have beef. And even though Dricus du Plessis carries himself...
Furthermore, Tracy stated that DDP carries himself with the swagger of a champion and seems to thrive in the chaos, fully embracing the mind games and verbal warfare like it's second nature.
Like a classic champion. Like, you know, I'm trying to be South African with my accent there. Even though Dricus du Plessis is sort of a classy champion, this guy straight up loves talking people. And he can't help himself. And it's extremely entertaining. He has the best fight buildups, the realest, actually heated rivalries. And it's just awesome. And then also, he's got entertaining interviews. He's got a very frank personality. I have here written on the screen that he's got this old-timey catchphrase style of talking made 10 times funnier with his South African accent, saying things like tricky customer.
Like I said, he's a tricky customer when it comes to the defense.
tricky customer, you hear someone say from the 1950s.
However, Dricus du Plessis emphasized that his preparation isn't centered around Khamzat Chimaev, but on becoming the best version of himself.
This is not striking, this is not wrestling, this is not grappling, this is MMA. And yes, I do think his wrestling is phenomenal. But when the night comes, it's not about teaching him a lesson. It's about proving once again that I will be the greatest of all time and doing whatever I have to prove that. Because yes, I know his wrestling is great. It is 100%. He's proven that. I mean, look at his performances. But you're only as good as your opponent lets you. And I won't let you look good.
In addition, he acknowledged the uncertainty surrounding Khamzat's availability and noted that if Chimaev pulls out, the UFC will find another opponent. That's why his focus remains on overall growth, not just a single matchup.
I can let you look good, but I can't let you win, unfortunately.
Are you worried he pulls out? He doesn't have the greatest record.
Well, those are the kind of forces that doesn't bother me, because I try not to be concerned about things that I have no control over. UFC always finds a plan. Like I said, I don't prepare for Khamzat. I prepare to be the best Dricus.
Yeah.
So after that, if he pulls out fight week, UFC will get somebody else. There's a lot of contenders right now. And whoever they put in there, I'll be ready for it.
Moreover, Dricus du Plessis explained that it's not just about defending the title, but about who you defend it against. A third successful defense would mean everything to him, and he made it clear he has no intention of leaving without the belt. While he believes his performance is what truly defines him, he sees the title as the physical representation of that standard.
This third time would mean the absolute world to me, and believe me, I'm going to defend it. I'm going to defend it. This, win or die trying. I said, there's no way. I'm not leaving wherever this fight is without my belt. There's no way. The belt doesn't define me. My performance defines me, and unfortunately, for me to be defined, this is the personification of that. This is just a metaphor of chasing greatness and being the greatest. And right now, I'm the best middleweight in the world.
Adding to that, TJ Dillashaw pointed out that Dricus du Plessis' awkward style may look unorthodox, but it's effective and gets results. He acknowledged the well-known concerns around Khamzat Chimaev's cardio, especially in longer fights. However, since teaming up with Sam Calavita, Dillashaw noted that Khamzat has put in serious work to improve his gas tank and now looks far more prepared if the fight ends up going the distance.
I was like, look, Chimaev's the better striker in my opinion, technically. He's by far the better grappler and has more strength and better jiu-jitsu. Like, DDP is non-stop pressure, he's awkward, and that awkwardness gets it done. I'd say the reason why Chimaev won't win is because of his cardio. I said that before, right? And then I met him and I introduced him. So this guy's Sam Calavita that I'm talking about. He owns Training Lab. He's the one that gave me my bro science PhD and everything I'm talking about now. And I did it in his garage. So I learned everything you could possibly learn about peak performance and how to get your body there. Well, I introduced Armin to Sam Calavita, which has been working with him. And you've seen the way he's been looking lately.
Dillashaw added that Khamzat is going through old-school, Rocky-style training under Sam Calavita, and it's paying off. He believes Chimaev's conditioning will be on another level in his next fight, and that an improved gas tank could be the key factor in securing the win.
But now I've also introduced Chimaev to him, so Sam Calavita's got like some killers in his garage. He does all of his strength conditioning in his garage, which is amazing. It's like Rocky-style training. So Chimaev's doing it right now. I highly suspect he's going to have a better gas tank for this next fight, and I think he's going to get the win because of it. Not only does Sam train you the right way to be this freak of cardio, but he also is going to help him make weight very easy. Sam's algorithms on the water displacement that he's got is next level. He'd always have me show up to fight week. I fight 135s. He'd have me show up to fight week. So that's what, 5 days before? Or 7 days before on Sunday, as long as I weigh 150.
Adding to that, Tito Ortiz added that under Sam Calavita's guidance, Khamzat Chimaev is being pushed hard to reach peak speed and conditioning. He believes fans are going to see a version of Chimaev in top shape, ready to show just how good he really is when it matters most.
And he's training with TJ Dillashaw's trainer Sam Calvita too.
So it's going to look for speed. It's going to look for shape. It's going to see how good he can push his shape. And Dillashaw has always phenomenal shape, and that's that wrestling ability. And you're able to push that shape like that. I mean, he should be able to shoot 15 shots around and be able to punch and kick and get those positions and just be dominant.
However, Brendan Allen broke it down simply and suggested that Chimaev might struggle with the relentless pressure DDP brings, calling Du Plessis a completely different kind of challenge that Khamzat hasn't faced before.
I think anything under 2 rounds is Chimaev, and I think anything over is Dricus. I think it's going to be hard for Chimaev to get him out of there like he has other guys. I think in deep waters, Dricus is going to be something Chimaev's never had before. That guy, say what you want about him. I'm not a fan of him, but I will give him his props. I'll give him his flowers where he deserves, and that dude can make it a fight, and he can dig deeper probably than anyone. He's very good at digging deep, and that's respectable by itself.
Whereas Marvin Vettori is backing Dricus Du Plessis to get the win, acknowledging that while Khamzat Chimaev has shown impressive skills, he doesn't see him finishing DDP in any round. Vettori believes that over time, Du Plessis will take over and come out victorious.
I think Dricus do it, but I mean, Khamzat has been showing great stuff, and I just don't think that he'll be able to take him out in the first round or second, and 5 rounds eventually will favor Du Plessis.
On the other hand, Mateusz Gamrot called the matchup a fascinating one and praised Khamzat Chimaev as a high-level wrestler with serious strength. He mentioned he likes Dricus and has met him a few times, but admitted this is a tough fight to call. Still, Gamrot leaned slightly toward Chimaev, suggesting he might be able to stop DDP.
Oh, this is interesting matchup. Chimaev is really high-level wrestler, and he is strong. I like Dricus. He meet a couple times. It's hard to prediction, but I don't think so that Dricus will stop wrestling Chimaev, and I think maybe Chimaev will beat this guy.
Additionally, Mario Bautista is backing Dricus Du Plessis to get the win, pointing to his size, durability, and deep gas tank. He believes Du Plessis has the physical tools to push the pace and go the distance more comfortably, which gives him the edge in this matchup.
I'm gonna go with Dricus. Yeah, I think he's just too big of a guy. He has a gas tank on him as well, so that should be a fun one.
Furthermore, Robert Whitaker sees Dricus Du Plessis as the favorite in this matchup, mainly because of how the fight could unfold after the early rounds. He believes the one thing that's guaranteed is that Khamzat will get DDP to the mat at some point, but if he can't finish him early, things could quickly tilt in Du Plessis' favor, making it tough for Chimaev to take control as the fight drags on.
It's tricky. I think the favorite would have to be Dricus, just because, I think the favorite would have to be Dricus. The only things I can really say with any sort of certainty is that Chimaev will get Dricus to the mat. But if Chimaev doesn't finish Dricus there, I find it hard for him to win. I think the longer the fight goes, Dricus is more favourable. Chimaev has outstanding first round finishes, but every fight that's gone the distance has been close.
Moreover, Corey Sandhagen admitted it's tough to pick a winner with both fighters looking impressive lately. He suggested that if Khamzat Chimaev doesn't get the early finish, Dricus Du Plessis will likely take over and come out with the win.
Cool, that'll be a good fight. It's hard to bet against either one of them, honestly, just because they've both been looking really awesome. I think that if Chimaev doesn't finish him early, I think DDP will probably win that one.
What do you think's more likely? Do you think it's an early finish, or do you think DDP will?
No, I don't think so. I think DDP will be a lot bigger and really hard to take down and hold down. Mm-hmm. And then I know that like grappling in the way that Chimaev does, you don't have like 5 rounds of that in you, or maybe he does, but I don't think that he will. And then I think as the fight goes on, he'll get a little bit tired, and DDP's size and his conditioning is such a factor.
Whereas Curtis Blades is siding with Khamzat Chimaev, emphasizing that he's far more than just a wrestler. Blades pointed to the Gilbert Burns fight as proof that Khamzat can hold his own on the feet and land heavy shots. With that striking power combined with elite wrestling, he believes Chimaev has the complete package to beat Dricus Du Plessis, whether the fight stays standing or hits the mat.
I don't know if this is a hot take. I'm gonna go with Khamzat. I think he's
showed in that Burns fight, he ain't just a wrestler. He can stand in the fire and delivers some heavy hands. And I think you blend that with the wrestling, just like Oliveira, he can do a little bit of open. I think that opens up either the wrestling or the striking. I think he's able to beat Dricus.
As the clash between Khamzat Chimaev and Dricus du Plessis inches closer, the MMA world finds itself split down the middle. With pundits, former champions, and active fighters weighing in, the stakes feel higher than ever. Drop your predictions in the comments section below. Let us know who you are siding with, and we will see you in the next video with more exciting updates. Until then, like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to click the bell icon so you never miss a beat.